Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. Welcome to this edition of the Sunday Monday vlog. I'm a little bit excited. A lot excited. So this past week did not turn out how I wanted it to turn out. I ended up having some down days where I didn't get anything accomplished. So all the way up until today, I didn't even touch the shed. The shed, of course, isn't going to be done in one day. So next week, this upcoming week, I'm going to have a lot more work to do. But I'm going to go over everything that I got done this week. It doesn't feel like a lot of accomplishments to me. But I mean, I guess it is accomplishments because there's stuff that got done. It's just not as quick or as fast as I wanted it to get done. So give me 1 second. We'll go from there. So Ricky got the excavation done. He did the driveway while he was there. He dug the pool, which I made a short about the pool. I think I also uploaded photos on the pool. The liner came in, got the liner in. That was no joke. That was a 1,000-pound liner. So I had to go to Home Depot. Luckily, they still had the Black Friday deal for the trucker straps. They're 3,333-pound straps, 2-inch straps, 17 feet long. I use those to wrap around the rubber of the liner and then stretch it using trees. And yeah, it was difficult, but I got it there. So the pool got done. He covered the culverts that went across the road. I added 2 more. He did today's Homesteader Lane, and then he started working on ponds in the animal pen. However, ran out of time, ran out of money. So that was the excavation work. That started last week, finished, or the week before, finished this past week. Then I got a bunch of fencing. I went to Tractor Supply. Like I said, I had the money set aside for the fencing. So got all the fencing out there for what I could buy right now. Got it laid out. Just haven't done anything yet because, like I said, after this week, I've been sore and had a couple down days. Thought about the shed, wanted to do the shed, lost any type of motivation to do the shed like I've been doing for the past year and a half. But today, I finally broke the seal. As you see in the picture of this clip for this video, I went in, I got a face mask at Home Depot, I got gloves, everything else, because, like I said, everything's covered in mouse poop. So that got taken care of today. I got a load out here on the porch, which I guess I can go over, show you what I got going on. Also, my solar came in, part of the solar. So this is the battery bank thing. And that's got the 2 of the 6 batteries. So 6 batteries will fit there. It'd be over 31,000 watts or 31 kilowatts. Once it's all set up, you got the wires, got the combiner box. So all that came in. I went ahead, rearranged the house in here. I brought the scaffolding over here. All these shelves are all moved so I could pile stuff back so I can go ahead and make space. But then, like always, my procrastination hit a little bit harder. And that was, I didn't want to clean everything to fill up the inside of the restaurant. So for now, since I fenced this off for the dogs, I took a piece of fence and blocked off right over there so the dogs can't come in. And I got everything piled here on the porch. Then my horse trailer, which is right here, livestock trailer, is filled with all the garbage from the shed. So I did 1 load today. I brought everything, all the boxes, stacked everything on the porch. Then I went back after lunch, filled the horse trailer up with garbage. So I'm going to go to the dump in the morning. I don't have money, like I said last week, but it's going to go on credit card because I want it gone. Tomorrow, after I get done at the dump, then I'm going to get back out there again, start working on the shed yet again and get that working so that way I can give the guy a call to get on his schedule to get the shed moved. So now that I've been over there, I've been super excited. Really, I can't wait. I wish I could be over there now. I just don't have everything I need. The shed's got to get moved. Shed's got to get cleaned out. Got to wire the shed, insulate the shed. So I know it's still going to be some time. However, right on top of that styrofoam box, you can see all that cardboard. And then to the other side, it's all cardboard going down. I've been taking cardboard boxes, stripping the tape off, any stickers off, so it's just plain cardboard. I've been cutting up, stacking it. I collected dog hair. I normally throw out at the homestead, but I held on to that. I'm going to use that for the garden. I've been keeping my coffee K-cups, so I'm going to rip those open. I'm going to get the coffee grounds out that. And then out on the front of the restaurant here, I had all the galvanized bins or stainless bins, whatever, that I tried vegetables in this past year, but it was too hot from the highway. So I got all those loaded up in the horse trailer. Went after I unloaded everything on the porch, got that up to the house site. So now I have the dirt up there. I have the planter pots up there. I had the straw bales up there. And then this week, after the shed is done, I also will get a truckload of all the scrap metal around the shed picked up, take that to town, get a little bit of money for the scrap metal. And then I'm going to take the coffee, the cardboard, the dog hair, and I think I got a couple things of dirt inside the shed. Get that up to the home site, and I'm going to start working on the temporary garden that I'm going to do in 2024. So I'm going to make some progress. Now, there's something I've been talking about getting for a while, and I found it. A bander. I've been talking about I need to get a bander. Guess what? This was inside the shed. So because I haven't been in the shed in all these years, I had no idea that I even bought the bander. Didn't have the bands. And if I had the bands, they would have got ate up by the mice because the mice ate everything. But I found the banders. So I got brand new banders, still shiny, no rust, anything on them, ready to use. So I don't have to worry about buying them. I have them now. Another thing I found, which is kind of like weird because it's like going to a different time period. Going into the shed, I haven't been in the shed for so long, and except to just pile stuff in there when I got everything out of Colorado, my last trip, I just unloaded everything into the shed because I had moved in with Carla. For those of you guys that don't know, one of my exes, I moved in with her. So part of the shed was left from me just like living there. Tissues by the bed, blankets on the bed, everything like that. Of course, everything ate up. The mattress, everything's in the trailer. But I've had people asking about what the dogs used to wear. These black harness things that I have for the dogs with the handle that I used to have the dogs wearing all the time. So one or two of them got ate up. So I just washed a bunch of the stuff. Most the wash rags, towels, socks, underwear, everything that I had in there, I just went ahead and threw away. I'm not even going to wash it. It stinks to high heavens, all covered in mouse feces. But like these weren't cheap, so I did get these. But when I moved out, I just didn't weigh things out. The pros and the cons, time and money, just like the title of the video. The con of me not putting things away, me not boxing things up, and just moving out of the shed, a lot of my stuff got ruined. I lost a whole lot of toilet paper. I know that's a funny subject after 2020. But I had a bunch of toilet paper in there. I had boxes, tissues. I had paper towels. Just like over here, you can see I got my stack over there. So I don't ever have to worry. I've got tissues over there, paper towels, and then toilet papers in the bathroom. But I had stacks like that inside the shed because if something happens like 2020, that's where I'm still a semi-prepper. Or if I have to not spend any money for a couple months, then I'm able to use what I have to save that money for emergency or something like that. Or pay the credit card off, which we know I don't do. But the cons of leaving was a lot of expensive stuff got chewed up, toilet paper, paper towels, all that. A lot of clothing, a bunch of hoodies, brand new hoodies that I had in a box. Mice got in there, ripped a bunch of holes. I got 2 of my hoodies that were salvageable. And then I got 3 little kid hoodies that I had for the petting zoo, which I can't wear. They're too small for me. So it was disappointing seeing how much went to waste and how it just, I didn't think about things. I didn't weigh things out. I didn't weigh, staying in the shed, moving out with a new girlfriend. I didn't have money at the time to go buy all nice totes and things like that. So I just left everything and everything went to heck. So when you're looking at anything in life, when you're looking at homesteading, when you're looking at moving, when you're looking at your job, your hobbies, traveling, anything like that, always do a pro and cons list. Always figure out what time it's going to take, what money it's going to take. Because in this case, it's taken me a bunch of time to clean out the shed. It's costing me a lot of money of stuff that got damaged and wasted. Let alone now I'm paying not once for the stuff, but twice to take it to the dump. So it's costing me a lot of time and money. It's something that I should have thought about, something I should have taken better care of. But you also got to look at moving forward. Do I take the time and money and try to clean everything and go through everything? And I already have new stuff here. It could save me money in the long run. However, just like the TV show Hoarders and when I had my businesses back when I was younger and cleaned out hoarder houses, you just got to let it go. When it's got 2-3 inches of mouse crap on it and it stinks to high heavens, it's not worth keeping. There's a lot of people that will differ on that. A lot of people will say, oh, you can just throw it in the washing machine and it's fine. There's a lot of bacteria. There's a lot of viruses and diseases and things like that mice can carry, let alone any other bugs here or whatever else got in the shed. So I don't want to deal with that. So I just made the decision. I'm just tearing mostly everything out, except you saw all the boxes and stuff out there. Everything's got to get wiped down. I've got a crate of DVDs. All the casings of the DVDs is just a thick layer of probably mouse urine and stuff like that. I don't want to throw DVDs away. As we see what this world's coming to, everything's going to streaming, so you have to have a bill. Where with DVDs, I own it. They can't take it away from me. It's just crazy what this world's coming to. Another thing, I'm starting to change what I've talked about changing for a while. And that is I'm buying different things based on labels. I don't know if anybody's ever had real peanut butter, which has peanuts in it. That's it. Peanuts. Nothing else. Just peanuts. It tastes like crap. But I'll tell you, if you get this Smucker's and it's not GMO, it's not bioengineered ingredients, and you go and get yourself some local pure honey, raw, unfiltered honey, and you put this inside the peanut butter, then it tastes just like regular peanut butter on the shelf, except it's a lot healthier. It doesn't have all the chemicals and all that stuff in it, like I've talked about a couple episodes ago on the pink slime and all the stuff the U.S. allows in our food that other countries ban, yet we keep doing it, like the artificial sweeteners, like I can't even think of the names of the artificial sweeteners because I never use them. And it's been forever since I got into the food kick. But I am doing that, so I would highly recommend time and money. Like Steve tells me all the time with me drinking Coke before I quit drinking Coke. he told me the less I have, the less damage it does. So I will throw Steve out there for that. And like Steve says, the healthier you eat, the healthier you should be. Or that's what we're told. Same thing with labels. This could have a bunch of stuff in it, even though it just says peanuts. Because we all know it's the power of whoever stamps the food products. Anybody can give a bunch of money and get the stamps approved, just like we saw at Whole Foods back in, I think it was 2009, when Whole Foods got busted for selling the same vegetables that Walmart sold and put a organic label on their stuff. I had a friend that went and bought everything at Whole Foods, wasted all that time, wasted all that money. And to get more money, you got to get more time to work a side job or a regular job or investments, and you just throw that money away. So when you throw that money away, you're throwing your time away as well. And like I've said, we're only on this planet for so long. I also had somebody ask last week or week before if I ever got deployed overseas, since I talked about me being a vet. No, I did not deploy overseas. I was pending a deployment. Luckily, that fell through because I was scheduled to go get the smallpox and all the different shots. So I never got exposed to any of that stuff. So I'm super glad that didn't happen. So no, I did not go overseas. I got injured down in Texas, stateside here in the desert down at Camp Bullis. And that was that. So whoever asked that, that is the answer for that. Now, for this upcoming week, what do I have planned and what is going on? Well, the shed is number one. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to take the stuff to dump. I'm going to come back. I'm going to start working on the shed again. I'm going to try to get rest of the stuff out the shed possibly. But I am going to leave a bunch of stuff that I want to go right back in the shed, like the stove that's in there. I've got propane tanks. The bathtub, shower unit, the toilet, the 80-gallon pressure tank, the water pump, everything that I had set up to do a tiny home situation, I'm going to leave in the shed, and then I'll load it up in the livestock trailer the day he's coming to move the shed or the day before, so that way I can take the trailer up, put everything back in the shed once the shed gets moved. So the shed's going to be number one. I want to get that knocked out this week, hopefully by Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I'm going to call him up. If he has time to move a shed prior to the first week of January, then I'm going to try to get it moved this month in December. Why? Because I want to get moved. I'm ready to go. I just told my neighbors that are here, Becky and Todd next door, that this is going on the market next year. I'm just ready. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to be over there. I'm going to have a swimming pool. Don't know how the swimming pool is going to work, but we're going to find that out. After the shed, I'm going to work on the garden. I'm going to get that garden situated so that way I can get the cardboard and the layers of dirt and the dog hair and coffee grounds and all that stuff so that can break down over the next couple of months. Try to get some mulch in there as well. And then come spring, get some fresh nitrogen in there, get all the seedlings. I found all my seed pods and grow containers that I had in the shed that I used over at Carlos when I started all the seedlings I showed you guys when I was living in Marshall. I'm going to do that again this year. Possibly. I got to just see what's all on my plate. I've got to weigh everything out for the rest of this month and then make a list for new goals, new year, or new year, new goals, and get that video out and figure out exactly what I have set. But I do think I'm going to use a bunch of them this year to start a bunch of seedlings because I do want to get vegetables grown. Why? You have all the chemical appeal. That's what it's called, appeal, that they're spraying on vegetables and fruits in the grocery stores, along with all the herbicides, pesticides, and all that type of stuff. So I want to try to get away from that again. I am eating some fruit now, mixing the peanut butter, the honey, and slicing up apples. That tastes good. It's sweet. I don't like sweet, but I'm trying to eat healthier. I want my vegetables. I want my cucumbers, my green beans, my potatoes, things that I can just grab out the garden and snack on. And if I'm living in the shed, not if, when I'm living in the shed, because this is not going to be if, I'm getting over to the homestead next year. My goal is Christmas of next year, I will be there permanently. If things change sooner, then my goal is by June 1st of next year, I'll be at the homestead permanently. But once I get the garden set up, then I'm going to get back to fencing and moving brush piles. I got to cut firewood and get over here stacked with firewood. As you can see, my fire is over there roaring right through the Christmas lights. All the logs just caught fire. It's been sitting on coals, so I just threw some logs in before I started the video. And then after I do that, it's going to basically be fencing for the rest of this year because I got to get that pen done for the animals. I'm not sure if I have enough fencing yet. The good thing is I didn't want to move them till May now because I wanted everything to grow up in the new pen. So I have till May to save up money each month to get whatever fencing I need left. But I'm going to try to do what I can. And then, on top of all that, my plans have changed again, I think. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I don't know about building a house right now. I know that's hard for a lot of people to think because I keep saying I don't want to be in a shed. But I've been having some deep, soul-wrenching conversations with myself in the second, third, fourth, and fifth person. And I'm starting to think pros, cons, time, money. What does that mean? That means my plans may change. So my thought right now, and we all know my mind changes a million times a minute, and these plans may change yet again, as they probably will. But my thought right now is get the shed moved, save up money over the next year. I want to strip the inside of the shed. I want to insulate inside the shed, or I want to seal the inside. I want to do caulking and everything to make everything airtight on the inside of the shed. Then I want to get rock wool insulation, get that in the walls because then that's good with moisture just in case any moisture gets in there because the shed was getting moist when I lived in there before, as I showed in some videos. Want to resheet the walls, but I'm not going to do it in plywood like I was doing. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money and do tongue and groove. I'm going to get all new wiring put inside the shed. I'm going to hook up a small bathroom area like I had originally planned. The roll-up door in the back of the shed, I'm going to have facing towards the front of the homestead up at the house site. I'm going to take the roll-up door out. I'm going to buy some windows and put in a big bay window. Probably 2.5, 3 feet somewhere off of the floor. So I'll have a solid wall for part of it and then big bay windows. Make sure you have fire detectors. Definitely, Scott. I have them over here. They're hung up over here. And when Steve was here, when I first started burning before it was too cold outside and the stove wasn't drafting properly, got some smoke in here and everything kept going off and it was irritating. But yes, I have smoke detectors. I learned that after my house in Colorado, so I will have that. But I'm going to do tongue and groove. I'm going to do a small bathroom. I'm going to do the kitchen. Since I have these small fridge and freezers, these little Visanis, I'll have room for those. And what I've decided to do is I think I'm going to put my bed underneath the bay window because with this bad boy right here, as you can see, all that weight, I can just move one hand. Each of those batteries, 105 pounds. That cabinet, several hundred pounds. So that easy. These wheels are awesome. I can move it. But I'll have a little solar room for that. And I'm going to turn the shed into a tiny home. So my thought is to save time, to save money, but to spend money, because we all know I'm great at spending money, and weighing the pros and cons, is I don't want to waste my time building a house right now. I know I want a lot of space, and I know it's going to be really tight between me, my stuff, and these 4 lazy bums, because we know they have to be in the shed with Daddy. They can't be out with the livestock. You know, I don't buy livestock dogs to stay out with the livestock. But I'm thinking if I turn the shed into a really nice tiny home, which I've never ever wanted to do, then I might just take the spare money that I save month after I moved into the shed and not driving back and forth here to the restaurant. Then I'm going to buy heavy duty, like these cattle panels that the dogs are fenced in here, which of course they can jump it. But I want to get some of the horse panels that are the 2x4 squares. So they're skinny rectangles. And I'm going to build my own kennels. I'm going to have a dog door so the dogs can stay in the shed, but they can go through the dog door and get outside into the kennels. I want to get things set up at the homestead where I can be there permanently. The dogs can be there permanently. I can have peace of mind that they're not going to get out. They're not going to go running wild like Minnie Mouse loves to do. And just pause on the house. And the only reason I'm thinking that right now is I'm going to try to get a shed, another shed, but I'm going to get a bigger shed, store all my stuff in it, and I'm going to use the other shed kind of like a live-out suitcase. So I want to line the walls with shelves so that way everything can be organized in the shed. I can go into the shed, grab what I need, but I have minimalistic stuff inside of inside of my tiny home. So that way the shed doesn't feel so congested like it did, where I just have boxes and boxes on top of things, trying to dig through stuff, and save the time and the money from building the house to start enjoying the homestead. So that's what my thought and plans are right now, is to start changing the shed into the tiny home next year, get everything stripped out, get it all rebuilt, do a bathroom. Then that way I can buy the big water cistern that's going to be for the house. I can plumb that to the shed. I can put the septic system in that I'm going to have for the house, and I can plumb it over to the shed. And then eventually when I build the house, if I have visitors or anybody that comes out to visit, then I'll have a really nice tiny home, which will be like a guest cottage house thing that they can stay in, because we all know nobody can stay with me inside my house with the dogs, because the dogs will eat them. So that way it's 2 separate places. And I want to start doing more gardening. I want to get the solar racks built. I got to save money for that. I've still got to save the money for the other batteries. I got to save the money for the inverter and the wiring and whatever other stuff Steve's got to do for the solar. But if I can have the power there, then I can run an AC all summer. I can be there all summer. I'll use my wall-mounted blue flame propane heater, because if the walls are insulated, unlike before where I was barely staying warm in the shed when I first moved out here, I'll also skirt the shed so I don't have to worry about the wind blowing underneath, sucking out all the heat like I had issues with. I won't have the heat going right through the walls. Then that blue flame propane heater will be perfect. It will heat it up. It'd be insulated well. It'd be airtight sealed. I'll be in good shape. After that, I'm not sure where I'm going to go. But that's my goal right now, is if I can get moved into the shed, then I'm going to get this the restaurant, list it on the market, get this sold. Once this sells, then that will give me the money to start doing other stuff. But in the meantime, even if this sells, I don't think I'm going to start on the house right away. I think I'm going to probably start on the barn. I want to get the barn built for the animals. I want to get another pen built. I know I don't even have the second pen built, but I want to get a third pen built so that way that can start saving me a bunch of money on feed. So I have 3 pens to rotate the animals. I'm looking long stream now, trying to condense all my expenses and try to start saving money in every aspect I can. I did get good news this past week from the attorney that's on my case through the J.G. Wentworth, and my J.G. Wentworth that I thought my last payment is December of 2024 is now August of 2024. So that $337 a month going out to the creditors to settle all my debt, that stops in August of 2024. So starting August next year, the end of summer, midsummer, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have extra $337 a month to buy fencing, to buy building material, things for the shed, so on and so forth. So next year is starting already turning out to be a good year because I'm slowly but surely going to have more money to start getting things done because I've consolidated my debts. I've been in the J.G. Wentworth program for I think three and a half years, something like that. So it'd be nice to finally get that closed out. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I can't wait to get over there. And for those of you that know how long I've been putting off the shed and not wanting to do the shed, to finally break that seal today, get it knocked out, get it cleaned out, or getting it cleaned out is just a milestone. And like I say, if I can get the shed moved this month, I'm going to try to get it moved this month now, because then that just gives me a couple more weeks to make progress on something else. So weigh out your pros and cons, weigh out your time and expenses, money, your debt, your income, whatever you want to call it, and make it happen today. I keep saying we're only on this planet for so long. Do you want to waste your time chasing money to do something you're not wanting to really do, like a 9-to-5 job that you go to and don't like? If you like your 9-to-5 job, keep doing it. But there's a lot of people that just do the grind just to make that money, to live in the city or do something they don't want to do. If you want that beach house, save up that money, get that beach house. Because before you know it, you're going to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or you're not even going to be here. And you miss that opportunity. Just like different country songs talk about when people got cancer and stuff like that. You know, you got 2 weeks to live or something like that. And people make the most of those 2 weeks. Why just make the most of those 2 weeks? Why not start today? Why not start doing what you love, what you want to do now, than 2 decades from now when you might only have those 2 weeks? Something to consider. It's a con to keep doing what you're doing. It's a pro to change it. You got to think about it. Life is like water. You waste a drop, you're going to die of thirst. I put that in one of my Facebook memories years and years ago, and that popped up the other day. And it's still true to today. We waste so much life doing things we don't want to do. Just like me being here at the restaurant. For a year and a half, coming up on 2 years now, I've been in the restaurant. And it's taken me till now to get motivated enough to get over to the homestead. I've wasted almost 2 years doing something I didn't like to do. 2 years of gas driving back and forth to the homestead every day, if not 2, sometimes 3 times a day. All that money down the drain that could have gone to something else. All that time taking the goats out for walks, taking the dogs out for walks and runs, hanging out with the camels, doing what I actually love to do. So with that, get motivated, do something this week. I'm cleaning out a shed that I put off for all these years. So if I can do it, you can do it. And hit your goal, go for what you want to do. And like always, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Waste not, want not. Well, DT, I did waste a lot, but you know, it is what it is. I got to get over there. So I hope everybody has a great night. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next video.